Hi guys, so this is more of a request video, I guess. I'm wondering what you would recommend as the best Exjw support online. Um, I'm living overseas now and have been for quite some time. And I know there's no support groups around here. And I was told, I contacted a website and they recommended going on the Reddit, Exjw Reddit group. I have to check the exact link. I don't know if there's just one section there for XJWs, but they said that was the most kind of neutral. So I'm wondering if others would concur with that. And I have some reluctance getting back involved actually with any of this online forum stuff for a bunch of reasons. But also there's the issue of which forums to go on. And they're kind of both the same issue. I'll tell you why. Well, it's 2018 now. So in 2002 was the first time I actually went on any of these forums. And at that time, the internet was kind of new. And there was only one real forum I found, and it was quite active, and it was extremely helpful. So this is 16 years ago. And anyways, I used that quite a bit, and I remember actually literally shaking. And I was in the computer lab at my university. I was really busy at that time. I had a lot going on, and a lot of these family issues were starting to kind of cave in. Nothing to do with my fault. I mean, I'm the youngest in the family. It was my JW family, and there was a lot of these things that I'd been trying to diplomatically deal with started to get forced on me, and it was getting really nasty. So my dad was sick, and it was just a mess. So I just remember it kind of, I got forced into having to research online. I hadn't been wanting to do that for a bunch of reasons. And I was living a pretty, good life at that time. It was very positive, very awesome. I was doing a lot of stuff. And I just remember physically shaking because I was finding out all this information about the JWs and stuff. And it was very shocking, upsetting, and I didn't need any more upset in my life. I'd suffered enough growing up to last for 3 lifetimes, so I had sort of committed to myself not to do that. But I was just doing what I felt like I had to do that was necessary and wise, to do at that time. And it was difficult. I was on my own. And I had just met my wife. We were still, dating at that time, but a lot of things, that are these life changes bring out these stages we go through in life really bring out a lot of issues, and some of these things get forced on us. We have to deal with them. It's not fair, but we do our best. So anyways, this was very useful and very helpful, and I was involved with this really intensely for, I don't know, probably a couple of years. I was using it quite a bit. And I did notice some problems, like anything, you pick up on stuff, but I was trying to be positive and just use it for the positive aspect. Anyways, I was, like I said, quite busy. We moved overseas to my wife's country, and I moved closer to her family, which was very good for her, and it was good for me because we were trying to replace my family as well. They were awful because being JWs, devout JWs, just horrendously terrible people. And so trying to juggle all of this was quite stressful, and I took a break from these forums. And then I had a crisis I had to deal with related to this cult. And so I I went back online. It was gone. This forum, it was offline. I couldn't find it anywhere, and I was kind of panicking for somewhere to talk and get some information. So I took the first one that looked decent, and it was quite an advanced site. That you could post pictures on it, which was kind of a new thing. And there's a lot of supportive people, and I was picking up on things as well. Most of the people had actually come from this other site that I had been on before, and they're very upset about it. They're really sour about the guy who's running it. And this former site had been a very big deal. It was, like I said, it was the only one I could have found, and it was really an important site for a lot of reasons. And it's unfortunate that the guy who's running it turned into kind of a controlling asshole, I guess, and he was fighting with all these people for stupid reasons and booting them off. And some of the fights were legitimate. I'd seen all kinds of crap they had to put up with. I wouldn't have wanted to run a site myself. I probably still wouldn't, because of all the psychos and stuff. But having said that, there was people who seemed decent that got kicked for reasons, and I didn't really want to get involved in all that. It wasn't my business. I was just dealing with other things. But anyway, that news site I joined ended up collapsing after a while, a couple of years. But I posted all my experiences, quite a bit of them. I even put some pictures up, but I think they're gone now. And so then after that, I went looking for the other one after a few years, and I was doing this on and off. And we're talking a span of 16 years here up till now. And I found it again. It had gone up again, and it turns out that it had just gone through a phase. I think that it had some sort of technical problems, and it went off for a while, or the guy was taking a break or something, and it came back on the internet. So anyways, I joined up again, but then it wasn't long after that. I mean, I didn't post there that much, but then the guy who was running it took a run at me, and he had, I don't want to get into details, it's stupid, but he had another guy there to big him up or whatever, and they're saying things, and I left. I had no interest in fighting with people there, but I was like brought into kind of stark relief, what's going on with these support networks for XJWs, and where do we go? It's quite shocking to realize that these types of sites can't be trusted, and I don't know, there's, I guess, limited trust, and I'm lucky in some ways. I guess I've got a totally different life now, but I often feel the need to talk about this, and I don't know, get involved in different aspects of it. So some of these sites are really, well, they used to be useful for that. I don't know about it anymore. And I guess that's maybe why I'm making this video now. I'm wondering what you guys do to deal with this XJW stuff. So I suppose getting online again with this Reddit site would be a way. I haven't looked at the site yet. I just was trying to look tonight. I think I found the right one. There's a lot of personal experiences, but I've got a lot of concerns. I mean, one of them was that there was a lot of fakes, and I've personally caught people out. They're completely fake, some of the stories. And other ones, they've been exaggerated, or they've been manipulated for some perverse reasons sometimes. And then having said that, there's other ones which, there's people you don't really know. There's some nasty people that I don't want to know. When I was a JW, when I growing up in that, and even now, I wouldn't really want to know them now. They just seem like they were not nice people in general. They didn't change or anything. They didn't become nice or something after they left. So I hate to say that, but I got a feeling there's a lot of people like that. I don't want to be negative. I'm not trying to be negative or something. I'm just trying to be realistic. So I don't know how useful that is. And another issue is talking to people on the internet. They don't really know you. And I see a lot of these posts, it's heartbreaking because it's almost like Facebook. I stopped using that maybe about 5 years ago completely. I was quite active on it. Of course, I'm living overseas, and it was sort of partly tied in with my job. But I really started to get sick of the fakeness and the editing. And that's not real communication. You don't edit when you talk to somebody face to face. And I kind of think that's maybe a healthier way to live, the way we used to. You'd have an email, and that was maybe the limit of the technical stuff. If you wanted to talk with somebody, you exchange phone numbers and you get in touch. So you talk to them face to face. With these sorts of things, you're having people you don't know, and a lot of these responses are it's almost like a form letter. Someone will post their experience about being an XJW, and then you'll have these very predictable words said, and it comes in a format, and it bothers me because having spent time on these other forums, I saw a lot of it was sort of very superficial, and it was like there wasn't a lot of depth. But for other people, there was an incredible depth. But you couldn't tell the difference, on an internet post. And also, some people were horrible people, and they would hide that, and you wouldn't know. And you get emotionally involved with people, and then it's a bit too late. You're kind of tied up with them. So that's another aspect I didn't like of this. I much preferred talking to people face to face, and especially serious issues like we're dealing with these XJW stuff for people that were seriously into it. I'm not talking about hobby forum chasers or something. I mean, these are people who really are decent people who had a hard time. There was some other issues with the forums. I can't remember them all now. But anyways, I should maybe leave it at that for now. So please let me know what you think about what I've said, and if you have any recommendations for how to deal with XJW stuff, because often it's very difficult. As nice as people like my wife are, she really doesn't know what it's like, to have some of these issues. So I don't know. Anyways, let me know what you think.